Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe. Here, as always, with my co-host Aaron Coe
Hello.
at Mason Charles Coe and at Aaron Coe 29 on Twitter. Go ahead and follow us and go ahead and subscribe. Over half of you aren't, which is lame. So yeah, seriously. Ebook on Amazon, hardcover on Lulu.com. Hopefully, hardcover coming to Amazon soon.
I'm hearing good things that
hearing,
might actually
hearing
happen.
good things. Okay, let's not jinx it. But today, unfortunately, we're here to announce that the Seahawks are no longer undefeated. Last night, just pretty much what we expect from a Seahawks Cardinals game: madness, insanity. Wearing black today for the undefeated record going away. But yeah,
It's the first time in the history of this podcast that the Seahawks have lost.
I know it's weird because
I don't know what to do.
We're so deep into it now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our 7th episode, and this is our first time having to deal with a loss on air. So
Yeah.
um,
So we're here. We're here. Sit on the couch.
yeah,
Let us take you through your grief.
yeah. It's kind of hard. I don't really know what to make of this loss. I feel like we played better in the Cardinals, but we gave up 37 points, and it seems like Russell Wilson needs to play out of his mind every single game for us to win.
Well, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint any one thing. There were many plays that made the difference in just losing a close game like this. And it was all phases. You had, 3 picks by Russ, which were pretty much really bad picks.
Yeah, all of them were really.
This wasn't Greg Olsen off the hands.
And he was very hard on himself after the game.
He should be.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Now get over it today.
Yeah.
And be ready to go against the 49ers. But, yeah, you should be. The defense, they are what they are. I don't even really know what to say about them anymore. We'll talk about it some, and then there were some special teams issues too. You have the all-pro punter did a nice job, but when you need a clutch punt inside the 10, he doesn't seem to hit him then.
Mm-hmm.
When you really need it,
Yeah.
one deep in their territory, he puts it in the end zone. You had a horrible penalty, a leverage penalty in a key situation. It was really, and yet they almost won the game. They should have won the game. They led pretty much every minute of the game,
Mm-hmm.
except for when it counted at the end.
Right.
So frustrating loss. Frustrating because you felt like you had it multiple times. You should have had it.
34-24 with 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah, you gotta close that out. Either your offense or your defense could have closed that out for you, and they were unable to do so. I thought there was some bad coaching. There were some bad plays. It was just it sounds doom and gloom, but we still have a 5-1 football team. They're still atop the NFC West. Everything is still on the table for them. Some of these things are fixable. Some may not be, and you just have to overcome it. But it's hard. It's hard when you felt like you had it and you kind of dicked it away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I think you took much more thorough notes than I did, so I'll once again let you kind of direct what we talk about. But early on, it was just kind of, not a ton of stuff was really happening early on in the game. There's a few big plays here and there. First of all, I just want to get this out of the way. I think we should fire Ken Norton. We're up to almost 20 games in a row, giving up 25 plus.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but he's not the one that can't beat an offensive lineman on the pass rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think could they scheme a few more things better? Probably, but they had Kyler Murray drop back 50 times in this game. They had no sacks, they had no hits,
Mm-hmm.
and they had 1 hurry on 50 dropbacks. I'm not talking about when he runs. I'm talking about dropping back, and you got nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't even bother the guy except for one time.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just your guys are getting beat. They've had a couple chances, I think, to add guys, and they either didn't or couldn't do it. These guys, they are what they are. They're not going to get better.
Yeah.
We're going to have to outscore teams. I mean, they got a trade deadline coming up pretty soon. I don't know if there's a guy out there you could unearth that could help you, but I mean, right now this is you need Russ to play at an MVP level, and when he doesn't, and he didn't yesterday, that you're going to be in trouble. But obviously you had opportunities to blow them out of the water and outscore them, and they weren't able to do it.
Yeah. I guess just let's start running through your thoughts, and I'll just comment as I see fit. But it sucks though, because Russ. It should have been another MVP-like day for Russ. It feels like there was a couple times where he held the ball for too long again. Other than that, it really felt like there was 3 bad plays by Russ.
Yeah,
and they were all terrible picks.
He threw for 388 yards, I think it was, and had some great passes. So, but yeah.
Also, you happy about your Player of the Week pick, asshole?
Well, I thought they were gonna. I mean, they still should have won the game.
Yeah. Buda Baker with the pick and DK with the chase down. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But first, as we, folks, as you're all out there sitting on the couch, helping, I want to help you overcome your sense of loss of football game. So the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah,
you heard about that. So 5 stages of a sports loss. In the regular 5 stages, you start with denial. Well, there's no denying this.
No.
You lost the football game.
No.
You can't pretend you didn't unless you're insane, right? So we go straight to anger.
Yep.
You hit the wall. You kick the dog. When you were little, I could beat you, but I can't do that anymore because you can hit back. And then, the next one is normal, again, would be anger, but in this case, we go to blame.
Yep.
Right? And, that's when you get into if the fucking offense would have scored, but the defense in this game with the coaching, this game had all of that.
Oh,
You're pointing fingers all over the place.
Surprisingly, the refs, I feel like, didn't do bad.
They had a couple, but they're always going to have a couple.
Yeah.
And they had one horrible call, but luckily Pete was able to challenge it because he hadn't blown his challenges he normally does on stupid challenges.
Yeah.
But that was... There's nothing I hate more than a cocky ass ref who overturns the call of another ref. I hate, when I lit up umpires in baseball, it was that why are you so cocky about this? Mm-hmm. Everybody on the field knows you're wrong.
Especially, I hated that. It's still unclear who changed the call.
Yeah.
But the ref whose call it was supposed to be called it a touchdown.
This is like the field calling a play at home play.
Yeah, yeah.
You had the guy right there on the play, put his arms up, signaling touchdown.
Pretty much right away, too.
Yeah. And luckily it wasn't close. If that had been close...
It would have stood.
Everything, like what percentage stands, I mean, it's almost always stands.
Yeah.
So luckily it was very obvious. So anyway, that just pissed me off, even though it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just hate that shit. So blame distribution. Yeah, you can blame the refs. People like to do that, even though honestly, you got to overcome that.
This is like one of the only games, one of the only like close NFL games, period, where I'd like I'm not. There's nothing I'm really thinking about that the refs did that.
Most of the big calls they got right.
Yeah.
Except for the one that we won with the challenge.
Right.
So. So after the blame, you go into depression, deep depression.
Yep.
And then after that, drunken stupor. You got to get shit-faced to get through this. You just have to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how that works.
Yep.
And then, the final stage is sometimes it's denial. We shouldn't have lost that game. Or sometimes it's acceptance. You never know which way that's going to go.
Yep.
But bottom line is we have to accept this.
Yep.
Accept where we are. We're still in a really good spot. and move on, and let's go put those Niners out of their misery, and that's not an easy
It's not.
task.
I mean, especially any divisional game, but especially against a team that we know is capable of being a very good team. They haven't been this year. They have the Super Bowl hangover thing going on, but it's not. We can't just sit here and pretend that the Niners are a bad team.
No, I mean every division game is going to be tough.
Yeah,
every team in this division has a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
That is extremely rare going into week 7 in a football season.
And especially, I mean, it's tough. The Rams always beat us when we were elite, and they were one of the worst teams in the league too. And the Cards,
Cards always do too.
Yeah. Even the Niners played us close when they had like Nick Mullins, and they went 2-14 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, always going to be tough, especially when the entire division are potentially playoff worthy teams. Especially when you look at a division like the NFC East, where we'll get into that on Wednesday. What's going on there a little bit, but. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
So some other notes. I think obviously we thought the goddamn game was won when DK took that screen pass.
Oh yeah,
to the house.
I was standing up and cheering, about to high five you.
Yeah, and I'm like, no high five. Look at the flag.
So
There's
sad.
a flag. Yeah, that's the worst because you think you have it won. And then you don't. But David Moore, that was a very clear call.
Yeah.
I think teams get away with those sometimes. I mean, there's probably many times this week where receivers get away with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he held the guy.
And it affected the play.
Yeah, it did affect the play. I think DK, he already had 7 yards. Maybe he gets the first down. He's a big dude. Maybe he barrels through that guy and gets the first down. But I'll tell you what, why he had to hold? Because it was a lazy ass effort on his part. Tyler Lockett on that play sprints, makes a great block on probably a Hall of Fame corner.
Yep.
David Moore, I mean, this is why David Moore's so frustrating, because we see glimpses of him being a great player, and then he just takes plays off as a receiver, and in this case as a blocker. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Watch that again. Lazy ass. Then he had to hold him because he knew he'd screwed up. So you got to make that play. You got to make that block. So that was frustrating.
Yeah. Speaking of got to make that block, DJ Dallas the guy ran into his face and he just completely didn't see him. Just let him attack Russ. And
that was my fault.
That was your fault?
Like a couple plays earlier, I was like, man, he's blocking, man.
Yeah.
Look at him blocking his ass off. We don't need Homer anymore.
I was saying the exact same shit. He obviously looks better every time he touches the ball than Travis Homer, and it looked like he was at the very least holding his own compared to Travis Homer in the blocking department. And then he just misses a guy that's running directly at his face.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how he didn't see him.
The thing is, when you're the running back, or really anyone on the line, you have to block the inside first.
Yeah.
Because if a guy's coming from the outside, your quarterback has a chance to step up in the pocket.
Especially with Russ, he can escape.
He can run, he can step up and complete a pass. But when a guy's coming right at Russ, right up the middle, there's nothing you can do.
There's
nothing you can do. There's really maybe Kyler Murray is the only guy right now.
Yeah, Kyler and Lamar. That's about it.
That can get out of that. And even them, I mean, the way he came,
it was just. I mean, it was untouched, dead sprint, and Russ was still dropping back. So it's like there's nothing.
So I don't know if DJ Dallas was expecting the line to slide. I don't know what happened, but he went left, and then the guy comes at the other side, and he's like, "Oh shit." And, by then the guy, and we're lucky Russ didn't get hurt on that play.
Yeah.
I mean, he got crushed on that play.
Yeah.
So that was brutal. I think in the last possession of, I don't remember which possession it was, but one was the one where they got stuffed on 3rd and 2. The last play of regulation.
Oh yeah. It was. Hold on. Punt. Okay. It was 4th. Okay, yeah. 3rd and 2. Carlos Hyde There was a minute 42 left. Yeah.
Okay, so on that, they get a stretch play, and they get whatever it was, 7 yards, and then they're at 3rd and 2, and they basically tried to run the same play again. I thought that was a real lack of imagination. Run a zone read. You got 2 chances. Maybe Russ can get outside on that, or run a short, a very short pass play.
I want the ball in Russ's hands there, whether that means he's deciding to hand it off or he's throwing the ball. So even if it's an RPO, like I want Russ to make a decision there.
Yeah.
Even though he had 3 really bad plays in that game, I still any big play, I want Russ making the decision.
This was basically Schottenheimer saying, "My dong is bigger than yours. We're gonna run the same play."
Yeah, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was much smaller.
Microscopic, some would say.
Upon further review. So that was a stupid play.
Yeah.
That was he's had a great season.
Yeah, and this was a good game. Personally, I think this was a decent game for him. Not as good as the other ones. I think there's too many. I don't know. Carlos Hyde was touching the ball too much for my liking.
That was Chris Carson being out,
Yeah, I mean, there was like too many passes to Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it was still a good game for him, except
for the end when, so there was a real difference in the way the two teams played at the end. So you had Seattle being very conservative, and the thing that they are so bad in this dime defense right now. And hey, I get it. You can't get beat for a touchdown, right? You can't. So you have to be somewhat conservative, but you also can't allow, 15 yards every time on first down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Keep it in front of you. Like, let them get 6 yards. And they did that for a good chunk of that. Remember, I was saying I love this drive.
Yeah.
They're getting like 3 yards a play.
Yeah.
And that was great until they didn't. And
Yeah.
then they were given and then they had that bust for the touchdown.
I was saying it the whole way. I was like, prevent defense 100% of the time they score points.
Yeah.
It might be a field goal only, but the last drive when they were, going to tie it up, I was like, they're going to kick a field, like prevent defense. It allows a field goal 100% of the time, and they only need a field goal right now. So why are we playing prevent defense?
And you mentioned with the punt, you're like, why didn't they let it come down to 1 second and call a timeout? They had a timeout. They weren't going to use it later. So, and you had made a good point, and they kicked that field goal with 2 seconds left.
I didn't realize that until I saw someone tweet about it, which is the funny thing. But I had made that comment.
Yeah.
And it would have. Yeah. I don't know.
So you had that. I mean, every second counts there. But the big thing to me is, they were allowed to get a first down and spike it. Get a first down and spike it. And then Trey Flowers lets a guy get outside. I mean, what you want to do here is funnel them inside, keep it to short gains, make them waste time.
Yep.
Don't let them, try to make them take 3 plays to get a first down. But Trey Flowers lets I think it was the running back. No, it was a receiver, I think, on a crossing pattern. Get to the outside and get out of bounds after about a 15-yard gain. That cannot happen.
No.
Cannot happen. You got to funnel that back inside. You can't let them get out of bounds. That play lost the game for you. There's so many individual plays that could have made the difference here.
I think it was 2nd and 10. Kyler Murray passed to Christian Kirk at the 38, and he ran for 16 yards. That was on Trey Flowers.
You can't
24 seconds left in the game.
He gets out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that's the game. I mean, that ended up being the game too. So very frustrating. You had a couple plays where does Jamal Adams make a difference? We'll never know. But there were some missed tackles by the safeties. Then you wonder if Jamal Adams makes a difference.
I'm officially scared about Jamal Adams. He's supposed to play this week. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Why was he out for, what was it, 5 weeks?
I thought after the bye he would be back.
100%, I did too. I think everyone did.
Pete's saying, well, we just wanted to be cautious, but you never know. I mean, you never know what he's.
Yeah.
I've seen him say that, and then the guy goes on IR, so I don't know
Right.
about that. But we got to have that guy back. We gave up a lot. We could have gotten other players that we needed probably more than him.
Yeah.
So he needs to come back. He's our only pass rusher.
Yeah. Seriously.
I mean, we probably get at least a sack out of him, or at least something out of him in the backfield. Those are the main plays in the game. But yeah, you have a 10-point lead with 4 minutes left. You got to close that out. You had opportunities for your offense to do it and your defense to do it, and even your special teams contributed. And it's just, but I'll keep saying it, hey, I mean, it's encouraging that you barely lost a game with Russ throwing 3 bad interceptions. I don't think he's going to do that very often.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging to me. As long as he doesn't fuck up like that again, you're going to have a really good chance to win any game.
And it's already against a divisional opponent that is a good team. So, especially considering, it's not like we lost to like the Falcons.
Yeah.
This is a good team, and it's a divisional opponent. On the road.
In a place that I don't want to go into what's happening.
Fucking
there,
Adam
but a
Schefter.
lot of bad things.
Goddamn Adam Schefter.
I mean, there's the play that shall not be named, and then Earl Thomas's middle finger, and the Legion.
It's
of
cursed,
Boom.
and the worst football game ever played in the history of the NFL took place in that stupid ass dome.
And Al Michaels is dead to me too after mentioning that, but man, what? So tell me, probably one of the worst interceptions I've seen Russ throw. You get a nice little pick. You got I think it was a running back. I don't know if it was a running back or a tight end. I can't remember now.
I think it was a running back.
Swinging out. Looks like he's wide open. Russ, just overconfidence on the pass. Thought he had the guy wide open. To me, fire that ball at the guy's ass. And either he turns around and catches it, or it bounces off his ass. And it was first down, right?
Yeah.
This happened on first freaking down.
Yeah.
So what did you see? Take me through your emotions on that play.
He was backpedaling, and I would have to watch it back again to really figure out how much the backpedaling while throwing was necessary, because that I think was part. I don't think he meant to float it that much.
Okay.
But he was definitely overconfident with it, and I don't know. He did it like that was the same thing with the last pick too that sealed the game. Like he just kind of floated. All of his picks this year, the one against Miami in the end zone, pretty much all of them have been him just floating it and me being confused as to why he floated it. So I think Russ was overconfident, but I also think he was backpedaling and probably didn't have to, which is another thing that means he was overconfident, I guess. And then, it was a great play. It was still a great play by Buddha. Like, it was great pursuit.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, DK, I was saying it while we were watching it, that is probably the best play of his career. If we won that game, it definitely would have been, because obviously they come out with no points after we stop them on 4th and goal. So, I guess my overall thoughts are, I don't understand why Russ is floating balls here and there. It's concerning. I think he'll hopefully fix it, because I feel like this isn't normal, where he's just kind of, especially like in the red zone.
Yeah.
He usually tightens everything up there. And he's like, since when has Russ just kind of thrown ducks?
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
Like, since when has that ever been a thing? And,
on that. Yeah, go ahead.
And for a second, it makes me like worried about his arm strength, but it's like no, because he can still drop it in a bucket 60 yards downfield.
Yeah.
So what is happening?
Yeah, that play was confusing to me. I felt like he just he thought he had an easy layup.
Yeah.
But he didn't see the big man.
Yeah.
the little big man. Coming up to block his shot.
Yeah.
That's what that felt like to me. Great play by Buddha. I think DK, that proves to me he's not a quitter.
He's
and not
atoned
a
for his sins.
Madonna. Yeah. I forgive him now.
Yeah.
for that lackadaisical play that in the earlier in the season. But that wasn't it takes several things for that to work. One, you have to be a freak athlete to be able to even do that. That's a safety. This wasn't a linebacker or a defensive end.
Yeah,
this is a
safety that sees the end zone in sights. Like he's chugging,
and he blows by Russell Wilson. But just so he had to be aware. And he had to have the physical attributes, and he had to have the determination.
That's the big one. That's like the biggest part is he ran about 112 yards to go tackle him. At any moment, he could have just let up even a little bit, and it would have been over. And he didn't. He caught him, and it was good to see that from DK for sure. Do you see the I don't know what it's actually called, but where the models where they have like the dots on the field with the numbers. And it's like an animation thing where it's like just like red dots and blue dots, and it has the numbers. So did you see that with the DK's thing? The number 14 dot just blazing past everyone. He was running like 4 times as fast as Russell Wilson. It looked fake. Like it was funny.
So he hit. Did he hit 23 miles per hour or high 22s?
23.
He hit 20. I mean, the dude's getting a ticket in a school zone in Mill Creek.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
That was a great play.
I saw a tweet that was like, DK just ran 23 miles an hour, and when I get in a golf cart that goes 15, I'm saying, whoa, this baby's really moving.
Yeah. What did it feel like to run that fast?
23.
Oh man.
Because I mean, I know what it feels like to drive 23 without a windshield, you know?
Yeah.
And it feels like you're going like your eyes are starting to water.
Yeah.
It's it must just feel, I mean, he's used to it, so whatever, but it must just feel crazy. I don't know. I'm jealous. That's a question that Big Cat asks that I like, is whenever he has a freak athlete, he's like, do you ever have a moment where you're just like, damn, I'm so fast. Like, is it fun to be that fast? And it's like, I just want to just give me that speed for just an hour and just let me run around.
Seriously. Just see what it feels like. So that was the first pick. The second interception, I think he was expecting DK to keep going. DK had stopped his route and was coming back. So he overthrows him by 15 yards. That one to me was not as egregious, because I think he was trying to make a play, and they just weren't on the same page.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of that, or I don't think it's anyone's fault. I think it was kind of almost a scramble drill, and you'd like to see them be on the same page there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one. So one of the ways that Shoddy had a bad game toward the end, I think overall he had a pretty good game, but toward the end, Arizona started coming with these blitzes. So contrast to what Seattle's doing, Seattle's playing very soft.
Yeah. Which
often, hey, that can work a lot. When you run 0 blitzes, meaning you have no safeties out there, if you complete a pass, that could be a tutty.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous, but it was working because we weren't blocking their guys.
Yeah.
Now, on that last interception, they made it look like they were coming, and then they dropped back. So I think Russ is thinking, okay, they've been killing us on these blitzes. I got to get rid of the ball. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get rid of it quickly and let my guy make a play. But I don't think he understood or noticed that they didn't come like they had on the previous play. So a little bit of, knee-jerk reaction and not reading it as well as maybe he could have.
It looked like when you're trying to hike the ball right before the play clock in Madden, you hit A too fast. And you just hike and just instantly lob it up to your tight end, and it's just incomplete every time. Yeah. It kind of looked like that to me. But,
so maybe a little bit of panic there, and
let's be like, you can't have that. Can't have like Russ. I don't think he's a panicky guy. He's very cool and calm.
Yeah.
We saw it last week when he's like, something special is gonna happen. We're gonna go win this. He was very confident there. So I'm, it's hard for me to believe that he was like really mentally like out of it, but it looked like it. It seemed like it.
Right.
I don't know.
If they had come on the blitz, then that might have looked like a fantastic play.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So
yeah.
But they've got to figure out a way to win. You should be able, when they bring everybody, that means you should have guys open.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find a way to win those plays. And I don't know if it was the play calls or Russ, but you got to figure out the protection, or at least hit the. I mean, you got to have a couple guys wide open, so you should know where to go and take the 7-yard quick play, and keep the ball moving. So I thought they're going to have to figure that out, because other teams will start doing that, bringing the heat. So they got to figure that one out real quick.
Yeah, for sure. I guess, other than that, Kyler Murray had a great game. He also rushed for 14, 67, and 1. I did not realize he ran the ball that much. But, yeah, 34 for 48, 360, 3 touchdowns, and that one pick that was, I don't even know what happened really there. It looked like almost he was trying to throw it away over the middle of the field.
Right.
And he just didn't see the safety. But, defense is suspect. It's one of the, is our personnel just shitty? Is it Pete's scheme? Is it how Ken Norton's preparing them? The thing is, there has to be something that gives when we're giving up 25 plus every single week. Yeah. I wish Pete would just stay in an advisor role and just be there, literally be the coach of culture. Hire him as that position and just honestly, Schottenheimer's going to get a head coaching offer after this year. Mm-hmm. So,
No.
No?
No. Don't even. I'm not going there. And Pete Carroll's the best coach that's ever been in this city. Don't give me that.
I don't know, man. He's a defensive coach. His team has sucked ass at defense since he had some of the best personnel of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. Look at the record over the last 10 years. I'm not going there.
All right.
And they've made bad draft picks. LJ Collier, not a pass rusher. They had the guy that decided to go four-wheeling without a helmet.
Yeah.
They haven't found a pass rusher. They let Clowney go. Not really a great pass rusher anyway. They didn't want to pay Frank Clark. They, again, 50 dropbacks, not even one quarterback hit.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of the pattern. So to me it's personnel. And you can't fix that this year.
No,
you can't. There's not. Maybe you could have before, but you can. The players that you could have gotten are off the market now. So, so I don't know. I struggled to blame coaching too much. Are there a few plays here and there? Maybe, but man, they're getting nothing. And I don't think their corners aren't playing as well as we had hoped either.
Yeah.
They've been kind of part of it's they've been banged up.
Shaq went out with a concussion, right?
Yeah. So who knows? Fuck. Hopefully he'll be back, but you don't know for sure. Trey Flowers is a backup corner at best in this league.
He just pisses me off beyond belief. Yeah. He just gives, you're supposed to prevent them from catching the ball, not just prevent them from going very far after they catch. You're supposed to stop them from catching it, period, not just gaining a bunch of yards after the catch. He's very good against. He does not give up many yards after the catch, but it's because he just sags off. And I don't know if that's his. Again, is that his fault? Is Ken Norton telling him to do this? Is it a Pete thing? Something's got to change though. I don't know.
I don't think they're telling him to give up 12-yard receptions.
No, are they telling it they're?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's it's so obvious he's being too conservative. So whose job is it to get him to not do that?
I don't know. Maybe he's just not good.
Maybe it's him. Yeah, and maybe it's just him. That's the thing. It's hard. It's especially with the NFL. You have so many different things going into just one single play.
Yeah.
Especially on defense. Yeah, we have a very simple defense, but it's so hard to tell who to really pin the mistakes on, or I guess just pin the lack of quality of defense. Who do we blame? It's hard.
But I'll tell you what, if you have some pass rush, it's going to cover up a lot of things.
Yeah.
So really, I think we just hope that Jamal Adams can help that at least a little bit. But part of the issue now is you're a little afraid to have him too high up in the, low down in the box when, you're a little bit afraid to play your typical single high safety because you got two corners that are struggling at times. So I don't know. I don't think there's an answer for this year. I think your answer is Russ just can't throw interceptions ever.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it comes down to, and you're going to have to win that way. And, hey, you can win that way.
Yeah.
You know, he throws 3 bad picks and you still barely lose the game. But, yeah, I don't know. It's you know, they're not going to be a great defense this season no matter what you do.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I think if you fire Ken Norton right now, it's kind of like when a Major League Baseball team can't hit and you fire the hitting coach. Hitting coach doesn't really do that much. Like it, you know, I just think it would be a whatever. Like if you feel like you need to shake something up, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, do you bring Dan Quinn as an advisor, you know, or something like that? I don't know. I don't know how that affects the locker room. I have no idea. I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to live with it for the most part.
I think
outscore teams.
Yeah, I think at this point the best hope for a Super Bowl, which I know is like extremely high, not expectations, but it's very high hopes. Russ he just has to play out of his mind for 4 or 5 games in a row.
Yeah,
and he can do that, and we've seen it. Yeah. So at this point, I'm not gonna say like we're a lock as a playoff team, but I would say it's safe to expect that we would be in the playoffs this year, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that Russell Wilson plays like the GOAT for 4 games in a row and wins a Super Bowl. It's really not.
I mean, look at it's pretty wide open this year, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, who's the dominant team? I mean,
the Chiefs is the obvious answer. They lost to the Raiders though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They're really good. They're probably the favorite by quite a bit, but they're not. I don't think they're as formidable as they were last year. But they're still really good. But in the NFC, there's nobody that really scares you. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that can beat you.
Yeah. But
there's nobody that I mean, the Seahawks would be favored. You know, maybe Green Bay. I don't, you know.
There's a lot of contenders, but no favorites.
No, the Seahawks, like any game right now that they play, like they're probably going to be favorites in most games or a very close dog.
Yeah.
You know.
It would be on the road pretty much. It would be a road dog.
Yeah,
thing.
they're a dog at Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That not much
That's
else.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Or
yeah,
at KC if you want to talk about AFC.
Yeah,
they're gonna be a favorite in probably every game they play this season. You know, provided they continue to get wins. So I don't know. Yeah, they're just gonna there's gonna be fireworks every game. You know, that's how they're gonna have to win.
I feel like Pete just manifests insane games just because he likes them. He just like
he does.
It's like he has the secret and he uses it to just play crazy ass games every week.
And you just know that they're never gonna put a team away. Like there's you know, if Russ doesn't throw that first pick and that ends up being a touchdown, maybe you don't put them away, but you have they just always find a way to make it really, really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, which is, hey, that's what fans live for, but could we not do that every week?
Seriously.
We have a couple of weeks
oh my God.
I'd love a game where I just sit back and watch the second half and just smile the whole time, you know, like
it's happened once in my recent memory. It was week 1 of this year.
Yeah. The Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, is that recent memory anymore? It was damn near 10 years ago.
A long time ago.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I'm still pissed. Like I'm still pissed. I just game they should have and could have and should have won.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. So.
God, Russ has 6 picks now.
Yeah, they're 3 in one game. That's
God, it's just seeing it, just seeing the numbers, like damn.
Yeah.
I mean, there goes the MVP hopes. I wouldn't say they're gone.
They're not gone, but he's probably not the clear front runner anymore. But I mean, if they close and he, if he ends up throwing 40 plus touchdowns. I mean, he's gonna be a real candidate. He's
You
still
know,
a candidate.
that tells me how much I really care about it, because I thought of pretty much everything before I thought about his MVP chances. So it's like I guess I don't really care.
I don't care.
Know. Yeah.
There was a time where I think I blurted out like you can the MVP can fuck off or something.
Yeah,
like,
you did say that. Yeah,
I
remember
you
now.
ain't winning an MVP now.
Yeah.
So, but he still could. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't, whatever. Like, if he happens to win it, great. If he wins it, that probably means that, the Seahawks are a number 1 seed. So, I hope he, that would be the only reason I care if he wins it.
Yeah, true. That means the Seahawks did good. Yeah. Okay. So, do you got any last things from that whole deal? That whole fucking deal?
No. No, I don't have a goddamn thing.
Moving forward, we got San Francisco next week. They are 4-3. We are 5-1. God, sending them to 4-4 feels so good. But being 5-2 with the Cardinals potentially moving to 6-2 next week, and that would mean the Niners are 5-3 with a win against us.
Yeah.
That completely changes. Like this week completely changes the outlook of the NFC West, depending on what happens. Seahawks have a 50.5% chance of winning this game, according to ESPN, and they are -3 at home. So that I don't know if the Lions are still using a 3-point advantage for home.
They pretty much are. They haven't changed that.
They haven't changed that? Okay,
yeah.
So that means that the spread is, take the money, take the money line. The spread is even pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I would never bet on the Seahawks covering or any other team covering against the Seahawks. It's just a shit show every time. So, Jimmy G's not good. They're dealing with some injuries. I expect to win this. I don't know if we will.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I expect that we win, but I would not be surprised. I will be pissed. I won't be surprised if we lose.
I think it's a lot of it's going to come down to which quarterback avoids turnovers. So
yeah.
Pete Carroll would tell you that the team that wins the turnover battle wins the game most of the time, and he is right about that.
Yeah.
And that's why you could argue that's why they lost yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to find a way to get Jimmy G to cough it up or throw a pick or two.
Yeah.
And Russ needs to not throw red zone interceptions more than anything, but just not turn the ball over and just have a. I'm not saying he doesn't have to have an MVP game, but if he has a really good game, they should win.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Again, the 49ers are not a bad team.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to preview Seahawks games because it's just there's no clue as to what could really happen, other than it's probably going to be stressful.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing I would almost bet my life on.
I wish there was a prop bet. Will Seahawks fans be stressed in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no question about that. So yeah, I would definitely bet on that. I just think that I think that the 49ers are going to have, as they always do, some creative runs.
Mm-hmm.
That are going to be frustrating at times. So we're just going to, we're going to need, Russ needs to be the difference in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm going to say that probably every week.
That's just what it is at this point. I think 6 games in, I think we kind of know what this team is now.
Yeah.
Russ needs to play like he's played this year other than last night. And even last night, I really do think it was like just 3 plays. like if those, it was 3 throws, 3 plays that he had last night that were bad.
Yeah.
And it turned it from an MVP caliber game to not even a shitter, because it's like, like he kept us in the game, and so he just needs to not make those 1 or 2 or 3 in this case dumb mistakes, which he doesn't really do, but he has done this year.
right.
a couple times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't even really like previewing games. It's like, what's really the point? Who knows what's going to happen? But, yeah, do you got anything else going into this game or about the Cards game?
No, I mean, I'll be curious to see how Chris Carson's doing.
I think it was Bob Condotta that tweeted he was told that it's not serious.
Okay.
So who knows?
So you never know what that means.
Yeah.
That means he could play this week or he could be out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
What is not serious probably means he's not out for the season. That's really all we can take from that.
Yeah. It's a foot injury too, so it's just weird.
Yeah,
foot injuries are weird.
You never know.
Yeah.
Or what part of the foot? Like,
right.
I don't know. There's a lot of things in the foot.
Yeah.
So we'll see there. But I think he could have made a difference. I mean, Carlos Hyde is a decent running back, but I think Chris Carson is a better player than him.
Having those two as a 1-2, I think, turns us into a pretty good backfield. Yeah. But then when it goes from that to Carlos Hyde, then Travis Homer / DJ Dallas, it's a different story. Yeah. It's a much, much different story. So having him back would be huge. I just think, we need Jamal Adams for this game, actually. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, we must have Jamal Adams to cover George Kittle. We need him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd almost rather him just go kill Jimmy G.
Well, just to be around. We need him to,
hit somebody.
In certain situations, we need him on just shadow Greg Kittle.
Yeah.
George Kittle. The pardon my take, guys, call him Greg Kittle for some reason, but George Kittle. We need him to just stick with him in some instances, and we also need him to really create our entire pass rush. Yeah. So we're asking too much, obviously, but that's what we need. So, yeah, I think he's been tweeting. He seems like he's very ready to come back, and he's excited, and it really does seem like he's very committed to this team, and he's tweeting out about how he's a sore loser, and it's like he wasn't even there today, and he's still tweeting about how he's a sore loser. So clearly he cares about the team and not just his personal outcome. Right. He's tweeting, in 3 we trust and all this stuff in support of all the guys. So I really think he's all in. This is not.
Sure seems like it.
This is not a case of Jamal Adams. They are just being careful with it. I think Jamal Adams is ready to take on whatever the Seahawks need him to take.
Well, you definitely want him. You don't want to rush him and have him be out for the season.
Yeah,
we all want to use our new toy, but I tell you what, I want Jimmy G looking out. Is he coming this time? And he's only going to come if he's only going to he's probably going to rush 10 times. But I want Jimmy G on every play. Ooh, is he creeping in? I want him nervous about him coming in and ruining his life.
Here's a. I don't even know if I'll be able to realize if this actually happens. Here's a prediction. I think Jamal Adams will not necessarily get an interception, but he'll create one either through a pass rush or Jimmy G will just be staring at him the whole time and then just either last second move away and make a bad throw, or he'll be staring at Jamal Adams and then be like, okay, I think I can throw it there. And then since he was staring there the whole time, someone else comes over and eats it or something. Yeah. But yeah, I think Jamal Adams forces a turnover next week. I'll just say that. Forces a turnover, whether it's with a rush, he smacks it out of Jimmy's hand or he's just scaring him into throwing a bad ball. I think Jimmy G's in trouble. If Jamal Adams is playing, because we still don't really know. So, yeah.
I would love to see quarterback drops back. He's standing like this, and he gets that hit in the back.
Yep.
From Jamal Adams, and
he just gets whiplash and
sack, fumble, touchdown. Yeah. I'd love to see that.
For sure. Get Poona Ford running it back or something.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. That's the ideal play for me.
Oh,
in general, that's the ideal play.
I love to see a big man rumbling in for a touchdown. Yeah. That's good.
By the way, Poona, can you just lose 10 and just see what happens? There was a play, I forget what it was even. There was a play where, he almost got there, and it's like, dude, if you weren't that fat, maybe you could have got there. I don't know. They got their. they're supposed to have their own nutritional plan and everything. So I'm
Right.
hoping at least I'm hoping he's doing what the coaches want him to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you got anything else regarding really just anything in the NFC West?
No, I mean it's gonna be a dogfight for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Do we just have a ton of conference or divisional games coming up, huh? Because they stacked the non-divisional games at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a
So
lot coming.
it's gonna be a dogfight moving forward, like you said.
We got the Rams twice, we got the 49ers twice, and we got the Cardinals one more time. So
Yeah. We have Buffalo, and forgot we do have Philly, New York, and Washington, and the Jets.
yeah, you gotta win all those.
Those are must
If
win.
you win if you sweep those and go 500 in the others, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I hope they do a little better than that, but yeah, I would probably sign up for that right now.
I would. Yeah.
Split with the Niners, split with the Rams. You beat Arizona.
And man,
and sweep the others. I'll
at
take it.
Eagles at the very end of November and at Washington in the middle of December is
Yeah, that can be that's
bad
gonna be rough.
teams, but
Yeah.
I guess we could wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Wednesday we'll be talking about the rest of the games. I know you didn't really watch a ton of the games yesterday. I did take a nap during part of them, so
Talk about the World Series a little bit.
yeah, true, we will. Yeah, some insane shit happened, as you guys definitely saw. So
Yeah.
if you made it this far, you're nuts, but thank you.
Thank you.
Subscribe, follow us on Twitter, buy the book. You owe us.
Yes, you do.
No, kidding, obviously. Yeah, peace out.
Thank you. See ya.